mean that wasn't.
I thought that was.
I mean, cool.
What is the level of excitement that you have, not just wearing this jersey again, but opening night, MSG, Cavs, all that stuff?
Yeah, you know, I was talking the other day, like, going to year 11, like, I'm so excited to be nervous. Like, I'm nervous. My hands are a little shaky. Like, I'm got some butterflies. You know, I'm looking forward to not being able to sleep tonight. Like, that hasn't always been the case. You know, we got some pressure on us this year, and you know, I always think back to the Monty Williams quote that, like, pressure is a privilege. You know, there have been a lot of years in my career where I haven't felt privilege or haven't felt pressure going into opening night, or really, you know, too many nights. But, you know, the fact that we're starting off with a like, big game and a season we're expected to do well, there's expectations and pressure, man, I'm really excited to be nervous again.
When is the last time that you had that feeling going into opening night? Do you remember?
I mean, I wouldn't say that's fair to any of the other teams that I wouldn't mention, but it's a different type of excitement. Obviously, you're always excited. I was excited to start my 10th year last year. I was excited to join a new team. I was excited for different reasons, but this one specifically, I'm excited to have some pressure on us as a ball club.
With that pressure, how important is it, do you think, for the team to get off to a fast start?
Look, I'm not. They won 15-0 last year, right? Like, if we do that again, great. I would sign me up. But it's not something that we're living and dying on. So it's a long season, and hopefully a long season after that season. So, yeah, obviously we want to win this one. We want to win every single one of them, but it's not like we're living and dying on this or the second result.
Behind the scenes, what are you sensing with the commitment level on defense and the impact that you guys can make at that end of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, it's been really impressive. You know, obviously, I think you've seen through our preseason games, we're pretty scrappy. You know, we got our hands in passing lanes, and we're getting a lot of deflections. So, you know, that requires buy-in from the coaching staff. You know, that we're going to mess up sometimes, and buy-in from the players that you're going to mess up sometimes, and it's okay. So I think everybody's really got their head wrapped around this you know, this scrappy style of defense, and you know, obviously when you have guys like Evan and Jarrett, you know, back there on the back line, it makes it a little bit easier to be more aggressive.
What is it about Reese and CP and Jalen that stood out from camp? It seems like everyone's praising the heck out of them just for the way they attacked the offseason and also training camp.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think their offseason, you know, from what everybody said, was fantastic. Obviously, I just got here in the second half of it, but they said these guys were locked in the gym, and you know, with Jalen, you can tell, like, his physique has gotten bigger. You know, Craig is toned up. The pace that he's played with is picked up now. Tyrese, again, coming in as a rookie, you know, he's still got a long way to go in terms of the weight room and stuff like that. But his confidence on the court speaks volumes for what he's going to become in this league. So I understand the sentiment. Everybody's so excited about him, and I am too. But again, they know the full story. I only got about half of it.
What's it like for them to be kind of thrown in the fire though right away, just because of the injuries and also just them earning the opportunity to get that?
Yeah, I mean, look, as a young player, these opportunities don't come by often, especially on a team like this. Yeah. You know, for Jalen or for, you know, Craig, all three of them. You know, there are guys that are locked on benches in OKC and locked in benches in Denver, and teams that are, you know, of a certain caliber. Like, you get locked away for a little bit, and so the fact that they get to run a little bit and get this experience early on is going to speak volumes for them.
Kenny talked a lot about your defensive acumen and what you can bring to that spot. You talked a little bit about the Evan Mobleys and the Jared Allens of the world. What do you feel like you bring the most on the defensive end of the floor?
You know, there's a lot of ways to get a stop, right? You know, obviously Evan and Jared are elite at the rim. You know, they block out the sun when you get down there. So, you know, for me, I've got fast hands. You know, I'm in passing lanes. You know, if you've got the ball, it's never safe around me. So. You know, and plus the communication level. Obviously, you know, being one of the older guys, being one of the more vocal guys, like, I try to make sure my voice is heard and make sure being on that back line that the guards know that I'm back there. Hey, I got you. Pressure. I'll be back here for you. And you know, I just think it's another added layer of versatility for us.
One of the areas that Kenny wanted to see grow for Evan and Jared when it comes to the defensive end was their vocal leadership, just being louder in senses of calling out positioning and all these different things. Have you seen that or heard that during the training camp and preseason process?
Yeah, for sure. No, Ev has been more vocal, not just defensively, as a whole. You know, it's been good to see, and it's been good to see Kenny challenge him in that. You know, JA defensively is he you know, he gets 3 seconds. He starts yelling and gets all excited. J.A. is he's been great. Obviously, he's going to continue to be great. You know, those two, you know, it's not, I'm not one to sit here and critique 2 All-Stars defensively. You know, I can't, you know, Evan speaks for himself, Defensive Player of the Year, and Jared is one of, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA. So they're good in my book.
You mentioned communicating with the guards. What's it like having plus-size guard in Lonzo, and also what he brings defensively?
No, it's great. Obviously, Zoe is, again, I think it goes back to the versatility. You know, obviously, you know, you've got, you know, Darius coming back, Donovan, you know, Sam, some guys that aren't taller in stature, and you know, you got Zoe to bring in and really change the pace there. So I think, you know, with his ability to guard, you know, 1, 2, 3, possibly even a smaller 4, and you know, again, I think it'll be paired actually really nicely with my ability to guard kind of a 3, 4, 5. You know, we're going to do a lot of switching and create a lot of havoc in those second units.
What's it been like seeing him play during a preseason where, you know, for the first time in 3 or 4 years, he's been able to go and not worry about injury rehab or anything?
Yeah.
The last question.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care if he missed. I don't care if he shot like me in preseason. You know, he just seeing him on the court is awesome. It's great for his confidence. Great for him as a forget basketball, as a human being. How awesome is that to get to see him play free and have fun and so for him again, if he goes, I don't care what he does. I'm so happy to see him playing the game he loves, and when he's playing the game he loves, we all love playing it with him. So he's a guy that I'm just extremely happy to see on the basketball court.
All right, thank you.